So there's a new regulation that has been added to the immigration refugee regulation, and this regulation is around when a study permit becomes invalid. So previously, if you had a study permit and you were enrolled at a designated learning institution and you completed your study permit becomes invalid 90 days after you've concluded your studies, or on the date of the expiration date of that study permit, or when RCC tells you that your document has been cancelled. But now there's been a new provision that has been added to this regulation where a study permit becomes invalid on the day that a student becomes disenrolled or no longer a student, no longer enrolled in the program. And so what that means now is that on the date that you're not a student anymore, your study permit ceases to be invalid regardless of the expiration date of that document. We all know that there are so many scenarios where a student could become not enrolled in a program. So example, financial blocks from the DLI institutions where if you owe tuition fee, you're not able to enroll in a program because of financial block or academic block or academic suspension where you haven't made reasonable progression towards your program, and they ask you to take a leave of academic suspension for a period of 1 year. On that day that you cease to be a student, your study permit becomes invalid. So what happens in this case, right? This is where there's still a provision where students can take a leave of absence for a period of 150 days and still be considered actively pursuing their studies. But what happens after the 150 days? If you are not back into your studies and you're still not enrolled at that DLI institution, then this is where you'd have to reapply for a new study permit all over again, regardless of the expiration date on that previous document. So this is really important. This is a new regulation and people, especially students, need to be aware of this. If you have questions about this new regulation, put it in the comments, like and follow for more Canadian immigration tips.